Jacob, how old are you?
I'm 29.
You're 29. Okay, you're the same age as my girlfriend.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's a good age.
Yeah, that's a good age. She's wishing she was 30.
She's from California.
She lives in Palm Springs.
Okay.
Yeah. What part of California are you
I'm from Bakersfield, California. 661. Yes, sir.
Wait, what part of California is that?
It's sort of Central South, right?
Central South?
I mean, yeah, it's Central South, but technically we are Southern California. We're fighting for that. People try to take that from us, saying that we're not SoCal, but technically we are.
Do you really want to be SoCal right now?
Right now, no, but when I think about everything good about California, I like to think about SoCal.
Yeah. Well, because that's where all the fun is,
right.
I think. My brother lives in San Diego, and even though Jay, I say Jay because that's not his real name. Jay is...
I call him K.
No, he doesn't. But Jay is... I love him to death. He has got a great mind. He's very super intellectual. But when it comes to certain things, and maybe we can get into this, he thinks the rich should be taxed more.
Well, see, that's exactly the opposite of what should happen, I think.
Okay, so
I think none of us should. We should.
What do you think about the rich being taxed? Are you for them being taxed more?
I feel like the more you tax them, the more they try to figure out how to take the money elsewhere. It's not a really good idea, you know?
Yeah, no, that's not a good idea.
Okay, well, I like that answer, but I want to dive a little bit more deeper into that. Do you think anyone should be a billionaire?
I think they should.
Yeah, okay, all right. So he's definitely leaning on the right here.
Yeah,
this is good. Yeah. When it comes to the ability to not pay taxes, should those abilities be in what do you call it? The sphere of taxes? Like, should there be an ability to be able to not pay taxes?
I think hypothetically, yeah.
Okay. So what you're saying is, when it comes to Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all these rich people who don't have to pay a lot of taxes because they know how to work the tax system, is that a bad thing?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. What do you think?
Well, actually, you say hypothetically. There's nothing hypothetical about it.
No, they do it, and he admits to doing it, like Trump does.
Well, I think you said, Jacob, hypothetically it could be possible.
Well, I thought they still pay it anyways, regardless.
Yeah. Well, constitutionally, there was no such thing as a federal income tax until 1916.
No, 1913.
Yeah, I heard about that actually.
Yeah. So half of the history of our United States, there was no federal income tax.
And we were more wealthy before that happened.
Absolutely.
Like, as a country, we were way more wealthy.
How could you not be more wealthy without an income tax? And the income tax came along right about the time the big banking cabal set up I saw a whole video the Federal Reserve, which, by the way, is not federal, nor is there a reserve. So,
gosh, yeah, that could be a whole episode on its own.
Oh yeah, it could be a whole episode on its own. So I not only do I think the tax should not be taxed more, I think everybody should be taxed less. In fact, I think we should go back to the way it was in 1913. No tax.
Oh, it was all federal income tax. Tariffs. It was all tariffs.
It was all tariffs. Yeah, that's how we afforded everything. And think about this, man. If you get rid of taxes like it used to be, people can't fathom that a system where there's no taxes. But if you get rid of taxes, the question then becomes, well, who's going to build our infrastructure? Who's going to do all of these things, have all these programs that the government's currently responsible for? Well, the private sector is going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the toll roads. Those aren't federal. I don't even think they're state. I think those are privately.
No, they're city. They're city.
No, I mean, they might be city, but
because it goes to the city.
But at least, but it goes to the city. But at least that construction is done by local people for local people.
Yeah.
And it gets a bit closer to the private sector. You know. So
all right.
I mean, someone's making a lot of money off of those.
So what about this little scenario? Because I talked to a liberal in the car one time, and he was like, "No, I don't think there should be any millionaires. I think they should give their money away." And I'm like,
oh, to him, I'm sure.
Here's what I asked him, though. And you guys can chime in with your thoughts or criticisms if you want to. I was like, so what if you were the billionaire? Would you want people coming to you asking for the money? And he's like, oh, no. If I was a billionaire, I wouldn't want that. And I'm like, but so, and my mind kind of exploded a little bit. And thankfully, this was one of those liberals that was humble, which is hard to say for any liberal.
It's unusual. Sure.
Yeah, but he was humble enough to say whenever I created a good...
You mean he wasn't the center of all creation?
No.
Wow.
It was just really funny because he would make comments or make accusations or claims, and then I would refute those claims with, facts and proof. And he'd be like, you know what? I'm not educated enough to give a rebuttal. and I'm like, that's
well, then
oh my gosh.
you're not educated enough to create the opinion you have in the first place.
Well, but that's the thing. That's what the liberals have done. That's what the left wing media has done. That's what the Democrats have done. Yeah. They've created these people who think this way because of the false narrative they push. Anyway, your thoughts, Jacob, when it comes to liberals who want people to or want billionaires and rich people to give away their money, but yet they wouldn't be willing to give it away themselves.
It just sounds like a contradiction within itself. I think that they're just not really thinking thoroughly about it.
Imagine that.
That's not like the basis of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think they are not the voters, but the representatives. I think they are thinking thoroughly about it. They're just not hiding their agenda anymore, is what I think.
Well, there's a lot of that going on, but I it depends.
I'm going to clip that, by the way. That's going to be a.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, that's perfect.
That was such a good comment.
Well, it depends on what your definition of thinking thoroughly about it is. If thinking thoroughly just means pondering pondering.
By the way,
opinion,
he likes to really, really get down to the minutia of things, and sometimes you'll lose train of thought just listening to him. Anyway.
Not if you're smart. Listen, If thinking about it thoroughly means pondering some opinion, then fine, they're thinking about it thoroughly. But if thinking about it thoroughly is backed by some sort of critical preponderance where you're weighing facts and
words
stuff
that no one
like
else
that,
uses too.
Not if you're smart. But anyway,
I mean, his new saying, not if you're smart.
Yeah. But anyway, then no, I don't even think they think thoroughly about it. They just open their mouth, and it's like they pull the Kamala Harris, where just a bunch of words come out, and nothing is actually said.
All right, so I want to move into something. I want to ask you questions. These are questions that I asked. I had to stop asking these questions to writers, by the way.
Okay,
because someone complained about me. And they reported
me.
They reported me. They said it was discriminatory
kicked off the
language.
Uber platform.
I was so upset.
And asking questions.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna.
What do you think about the War of 1812?
Nice.
You're fired.
Well, because some people will be like, I don't know which way I lean, and I'm like, I can ask you questions to figure that out. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna ask you the questions. I think I asked one of these questions in the car. Does life happen at conception?
It does.
Okay. All right. We're leaning right. We're on our way. All right, second one.
I would say that pegs a person as right.
Well, hang on. I got another one.
Well, given that debate, sure. But go ahead.
How many genders are there?
2.
We're full right now. We're full right.
Yeah. What makes you think, or what about you is libertarian?
Libertarian or liberal?
Libertarian.
Okay,
you're libertarian. You're centrist, right?
We talked about this in the car ride. I think that if you want to sin and you want to do an abortion, then that's your choice to do that.
So you believe in pro-choice. You just don't think it's the right choice.
I don't think it's right. But
Got it.
I think if that's what you're going to do, you're going to have to pay for it however you pay for it later on in life or death, you know?
Yeah, it's like Bill Burr. You know who Bill Burr is?
I don't.
He's a comedian. And he said, look, I am completely against... No. He said, I'm completely for abortion. If a woman wants to do that to her body, go right ahead. Still murder.
Right.
You're still killing a baby.
Right. 100%.
Okay, so I think that's where I really kind of nailed down that I'm like, oh, this would be good on the podcast. So you believe in pro-choice.
Right.
I actually saw somebody doing the whole, man on the street with the sign, and he would, debate with people, and it was about abortion. And he even said, oh, I'm pro-choice. I just want to tell you what choice to make.
Right.
And so I think that's where you kind of lean.
Right.
Like you're going to say, I want them to have the ability to choose, but I'm going to tell them to choose life.
100%.
Okay. So now the argument is more of, should there be prison time consequence for abortion?
You have to give me more context.
So like if someone, now we're moving into the category of like, if we want to implement this to where abortion is illegal, should it have the same kind of consequences as murdering somebody?
Man, that's a tough question, honestly.
I don't think it is. I think it should. Like, okay, here's my argument. If in California, it's a double homicide to kill a woman who's pregnant, why shouldn't it be homicide to have an abortion?
That's a good point.
So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that goes against pro-choice because that takes away your choice. I mean, it doesn't necessarily take away your choice. You can still do it.
For sure.
You know, but I think the consequences need to be higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, because the moralistic view, write it down, Nick. Write it down. I said moralistic.
I'm going to throw something at you, dude. I think there should be a segment where he says a word and then he starts badgering me and then I throw something.
All right. Well, okay. The good view is if you look at it, if you look at the definition of what a choice is, it's an arbitrary decision. That's what the definition is. Like, do I want to wear my flats or my heels today? Do I want to?
Oh, we're talking about women. He loves to bag.
Okay. Do I want to wear my Doc Martens or my tennis shoes? It's just an arbitrary choice. So if the choice to kill a child is something you consider to be arbitrary, that's evil.
Yeah,
that's just evil. So, and if you think about it, women don't get abortions because they choose to. They get abortions because they feel like they don't have any other choice.
Like, that's what's been pushed to them.
That's what's been pushed to them. That's the lie that they believe.
Yeah.
And so there's no choice. They call it pro-choice. Where's the choice? And is how I look at it.
Well,
and so yeah,
they've been pushed this narrative. I just saw a clip, and it was Kate Blanchett. I showed Nick. I sent it to him. And it was literally Hollywood. It was a Hollywood scene in a movie. I don't even remember which movie, but it was Kate Blanchett basically fighting. Yeah, I've never seen that movie. She was fighting for conservative women to be mothers in the home and not having this liberal agenda pushed down their throats.
Not have them looked at with scorn.
Yeah, because they're mothers that want to take care of the home.
Yeah, because feminists tend to look at women who choose to be. They say a woman should have the choice to do whatever she wants to do, go to college, have a profession, do whatever. But as soon as a woman chooses to be a housewife and a mother, which...
Go ahead.
What?
Just I have a rebuttal. Go ahead.
Okay.
Don't get distracted. Keep going.
Don't forget it.
I'm not.
Okay. But as soon as a woman makes that choice, well, then they're buying into the patriarchy, or they're happy with their oppression or whatever. And that was kind of Kate Blanchett's character's view. I don't know if it's Kate Blanchett's view or not, but
probably
I would hope so. But
my follow-up question to you, Nick, is how many times did you watch that video?
I know I saw it twice all the way through, but I would watch parts of it multiple times.
Several times.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you if you want to see it. It's actually a really good video.
Why? How many times did you watch it?
Well, I reacted to it, so several. But I don't retain information the way you do. Like I had to actually sit there and memorize it to be able to
really,
because you were spouting it off like I heard it.
Yeah, you know kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so anyway,
you know what they call it, Nick? Memorization, man.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Jacob.
I'm sorry. It was a dickish thing for me to say.
It's okay. That's all right. We're dicks to each other. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've thought about this before too, and I wonder if that has anything to do with women only being able to work within the past 70 years, roughly.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if maybe they're trying to push that agenda of you should work anyways, because they're looking at the amount of time that they've been able to work, and they're thinking, oh, well, if we just push the women to want to work anyways, then eventually we'll be at a different level in the workspace than we were before.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually not true.
Okay, here we go.
Women have always been able to work. There's never been a law saying women can't work, at least not that I'm aware of. The problem is, if you look at what women did 100 years ago, back in 1925, you'll see that it's broken down into, I think, 9 categories. Teachers, some sort of administrators, nurses, and whatever else.
Administrators, you mean secretaries?
Secretaries, assistants, all these.
That's now a word that you can't call them anymore.
What?
You can't call them secretaries anymore. It's executive assistant.
Well, look, man, I don't call them princes. I call them princesses.
We said that.
Just like they're actresses and waitresses and assistances.
Do you have any sisters?
But I'm not done, man.
No.
I'm not done.
Do you have any brothers?
I have 2 brothers.
2 brothers. Okay.
Listen,
Where do you
man.
Where do you fall in the lineup?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest,
big bro.
And you're 29. How old is the youngest?
My youngest brother's 20. He's in the Marines, and my other brother, he's 25.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so y'all are kind of evenly spaced out.
Yeah, my youngest brother, we're 8.5 years apart.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
8.5.
Mm-hmm.
And your second brother is how much younger than you?
3 2/3 of a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm the middle child. My brother's not even 2 years older than me, but my sister's 4.5 years younger than me, which means there was a oops baby. It was an oops baby.
Hold on. You're the middle child?
Yeah.
And you're the oldest child.
Yeah.
So you're the oldest, you're the middle, and I'm the youngest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Being the oldest is the best, honestly. I wish more people could know what that feels like.
I commend my older brother because he taught me a lot. He got in trouble all the time, and I didn't. Trust me.
Yeah. You learn.
I was grounded for a whole year one time.
A whole year.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like an interesting. Did you say something liberal or not?
Maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, what were
Did
you
you
saying?
get an abortion?
Nick.
So if you
I will punch a ball guy.
if you look, you better punch hard, sucker. 'Cause I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So 100 years ago, 1925. Look at the professions that women were doing. There, you can break them down into 9 different categories. I don't know what the categories are. We all kind of do,
But they were working as well.
Warehouse, right?
No, not quite. Yeah, they weren't.
Wait,
they
was
weren't
that a
low-grade.
serious question?
Like Great Depression, wasn't like the babies working, and then wasn't everybody
Are you
working?
trolling right now, or is this are you serious?
I thought so, right? Wasn't the,
I can't tell if you're trolling because you're smiling.
No, because I thought like everyone was so poor that like everybody.
So the women had to step up because everybody was in more? Is that what happened?
The Great Depression changed the thing. You can't really compare times to the Great Depression because the Great Depression was unique unto itself, and it didn't happen until 1929 to 1939 or something like that.
Yeah.
And what got us out of the Great Depression was World War II.
Right.
But in 1925, it's called the Gay 20s because everyone was happy. Everyone was happy.
Okay. I thought you were going a different road.
They're happy. No, gay.
Because I'm like, no, that would be the 90s, Nick.
Yeah. Well, gay didn't mean gay
I know.
until like the 1960s.
It's another liberal thing where they took a word that meant something else and changed it. Yes.
So the point that I'm really laboring to make is that if you look at the women, 1925, break them down, 9 different professions for the most part, and if you look at them today, break them down, same 9 professions. They've earned all this equality and all this right to go work, get an
Continue to do what
education,
they've
whatever
always
else, and
done.
they still do the same thing they were doing 100 years ago.
Wow.
So, and they'll blame it on the patriarchy. They'll say, well, it's men's fault. Well, not really. It's
Speaking of this, I saw a video. This guy went up to a whole bunch of girls, and he was just a random guy. He had a $20 bill, and he's like, "Hey, I'll give you $20 to yell at the top of your lungs."
I've seen that.
You seen that video?
Yeah.
And the girls were like, "No." He's like, 40. They're like, no. 60. No. 100. No. And then he goes up to the first guy, and he's trying to prove a point that men are willing to work.
Oh yeah.
Compared to women.
Yeah.
And the dude, he's like, seriously, just yell at the top of my lungs? And he's like, yeah. He's like, okay. He walks over and he just, and he's like, all right, man, $20 is yours.
I'd do it for $5, honestly.
I know.
Man, yeah, sure.